Hours before Israeli warplanes killed Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei on February 28th, an anonymous account on the prediction market website Polymarket placed a $32,000 bet that strikes on Iran would occur that day. Polymarket's own odds said there was only a 17% chance. The account was trading under the username Magami Man. When the bombs fell in Tehran that morning, the strike bet resolved in Magami Man's favor. Across a series of related bets on the war and on Khamenei's ousting as supreme leader, the account's total winnings came to $553,000. The identity of the person behind the account has never been made public. No charges have been filed. And the trades were placed on the offshore version of a platform where the president's son serves as an advisor. Magami Man was not alone. In the 24 hours before the joint U.S.-Israeli attack on Iran, at least 6 newly created Polymarket accounts placed bets that collectively won more than $1.2 million on the specific date of February 28th. The largest of these wallets turned a $60,000 position into a $494,000 profit by buying 560,680 Yes shares at roughly 10 cents each, hours before the first explosions were reported in Tehran. Another account bought nearly 150,000 shares at 20 cents and turned it into a 6-figure win. According to the blockchain analytics firm Bubble Maps, all 6 wallets were funded within hours of the strike, placed almost all their activity on the February 28th contract, and exited with 0 remaining positions. In the same market, a separate trader who had built a $2 million profit over months betting against the strikes lost $6.5 million in a single day. The 6 anonymous wallets made their money off the losers. A subsequent CNN investigation, using data from Bubble Maps, identified a single trader or cluster of linked wallets belonging to one person who had netted approximately $967,000 across dozens of Iran-related bets since 2024. Their pattern was remarkable. They placed bets hours before Israeli strikes on Iran in October 2024, hours before U.S. airstrikes on Iranian nuclear facilities in June 2025, and hours before the joint U.S.-Israeli surprise attack that started the current war in February 2026. Their overall win rate was 83%. On wagers over $10,000, it was 93%. Todd Phillips, a Georgia State finance professor and former CFTC advisor, told CNN that high-frequency traders typically have win rates slightly above 50%. He said the Iran trader had either extraordinary luck or was trading on classified information. Either way, the trader has not been identified. Israel has already produced one clear case of how classified military information ends up on Polymarket. A major in the Israeli Air Force Reserves attended a confidential operational briefing days before Israel launched Operation Rising Lion, the opening strike of what became the 12-day war with Iran in June 2025. The date of the attack was disclosed at the briefing. Despite signing a confidentiality agreement, the major sent the date to a civilian friend via WhatsApp. The friend placed a bet on Polymarket that strikes would occur before July. The major also recommended that his friend significantly increase the size of the wager. When Israeli warplanes were already en route to Iran, the major sent one more update. The pair made $162,000 on the first bet. They split the proceeds in cryptocurrency. In September 2025, the major leaked the timing of an Israeli strike on the Houthis in Yemen, enabling another winning bet worth around $5,000. At the start of 2026, the two tried again, with bets on strikes by the end of January and the end of March. When media reports about the investigation surfaced, the civilian changed his Polymarket username, and the two deleted their WhatsApp correspondence. They were indicted in February 2026 on charges including severe security offenses, bribery, and obstruction of justice. At least 3 additional Air Force personnel have been questioned in connection with the case. On April 7, 2026, hours before Trump announced a 2-week ceasefire with Iran on Truth Social, the Associated Press identified at least 50 brand new accounts on Polymarket that placed substantial bets predicting exactly that outcome. These were not casual wagers. The accounts had never placed a single bet before. They were created hours earlier, they were funded, and they targeted one outcome. Their collective profit was approximately $550,000. Earlier that same day, Trump had posted that a whole civilization would die tonight if Iran did not meet his demands by 8 p.m. Eastern. Nothing in his public statements suggested a ceasefire was imminent. Something in his private conversations did. Representative Richie Torres of New York put the question to the AP this way. What is the statistical likelihood that anyone other than an insider trader would place a winning bet 12 minutes before a market-moving presidential announcement? He said there were two possible answers, God or an insider trader, and he suggested God is probably not placing bets around Truth Social posts. None of this is limited to the Iran war. Researchers at Harvard University released a paper estimating that $143 million in profits have been made on Polymarket by individuals whose trading patterns are inconsistent with public information alone. The events they profited from range from Taylor Swift's engagement to the awarding of the Nobel Peace Prize to the timing of military strikes. The pattern the researchers documented is consistent. Accounts with no prior activity appear, place large directional bets on a specific outcome, collect profits, and go dormant. The study did not name specific people. It documented statistical anomalies so pronounced that the researchers concluded something was going on that could not be explained by luck or public speculation. $143 million is not a rounding error. It is a measure of how much money is being made from information the rest of the public does not have. Congressman Seth Moulton of Massachusetts, a former Marine who served 4 tours in Iraq, coined the term death markets to describe what was happening. The phrase stuck after a specific incident. During the rescue mission to recover an American airman whose fighter jet was shot down over Iran, Polymarket listed a contract on which date the rescue would happen. On one outcome, April 3rd was trading at 15%. Another was trading at 63% for April 4th. Moulton posted a screenshot on social media and called it a dystopian death market. Polymarket pulled the contract, saying it did not meet the company's integrity standards. Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut wrote that it was insane this was legal and said people around Trump were profiting off war and death. Senator Richard Blumenthal wrote to Polymarket's CEO demanding answers, describing the platform as an illicit market to sell and exploit national security secrets and a potential honeypot for foreign intelligence services. Representative Blake Moore of Utah, a Republican, framed it as a national security problem. He said America should not want to imagine a world where its adversaries use prediction markets to anticipate its next move. There are now at least 6 pending bills in Congress, co-signed by Democrats and Republicans, that would restrict prediction market trading on wars, assassinations, and government decisions. Senator Murphy has privately acknowledged the odds of any of them passing are slim to none. The reason is structural, and it is worth understanding. Polymarket operates as an offshore exchange beyond the reach of U.S. regulators. It has been banned in France, the Netherlands, Hungary, Belgium, Italy, Romania, Poland, Singapore, and Portugal. It was banned from the United States in 2022 after paying a $1.4 million fine to the Commodity Futures Trading Commission for running an unregistered derivatives platform. In November 2024, the FBI raided the apartment of Polymarket's CEO, Shane Coplin, as part of a federal investigation. In July 2025, the Trump administration's Department of Justice and CFTC closed both investigations without filing any new charges. A month later, Donald Trump Jr.'s venture capital firm 1789 Capital invested tens of millions of dollars into the platform. Trump Jr. joined Polymarket's advisory board. He is also a paid advisor for the rival platform Kalshi. In October 2025, Polymarket secured a $2 billion investment from Intercontinental Exchange, valuing the company at $8 billion. By February 2026, the valuation had reached $9 billion. The platform where anonymous traders appear to be profiting from advanced knowledge of U.S. military operations is now financially connected to the family of the president, whose administration closed the investigations into it. Polymarket's own posture on all of this has been, at times, revealing. Its CEO Shane Coplin told Axios in November that it was, in his words, super cool that his platform creates a financial incentive for people to divulge information to the market, including potential insiders. The company has not publicly denied that insider trading is happening. Its chief legal officer has said Polymarket has built compliance infrastructure. But Polymarket did not respond to CNN's multiple requests for comment about the Iran trades. It did not respond to HuffPost's questions about threats its traders have made against a journalist. Those threats were real. In March 2026, Israeli journalist Emmanuel Fabian reported on an Iranian missile strike on Israel that had been intercepted. Polymarket bettors with roughly $14 million riding on the market stood to lose if the strike was classified as intercepted rather than successful. A user identifying himself as Haim sent Fabian a message over WhatsApp. The message said, "After you make us lose $900,000, we will invest no less than that to finish you." Polymarket banned the accounts involved. It did not answer questions about whether similar incidents had happened before. The pattern is not limited to prediction markets. On March 23, 2026, about 15 minutes before Trump posted on Truth Social that he was pausing military strikes on Iranian power plants, the oil futures market saw a sudden spike in trading activity. The Financial Times calculated that more than $500 million in trades were placed in those 15 minutes. According to Bloomberg, contracts covering at least 6 million barrels of Brent and West Texas Intermediate crude were sold within 2 minutes starting at 6:49 a.m. New York time. The average for that time window across the previous 5 trading days had been about 700,000 barrels. Representative Torres described the activity as potentially the largest instance of insider trading in history. The following day, the White House Management Office reportedly sent a staff-wide email warning executive branch employees not to trade on classified information. The email itself was the acknowledgement that the problem existed. The enforcement problem is real and probably unsolvable under current law. The CFTC has jurisdiction over U.S.-based prediction markets, but most of the suspicious Iran activity took place on Polymarket's offshore site. American traders access that site through virtual private networks that shield their identities and locations. Polymarket uses proxy smart contract wallets, meaning a single person can create dozens of accounts that appear unrelated on the blockchain. Only Polymarket itself has the internal data needed to determine whether a cluster of new wallets belongs to one user. The company has not shared that data publicly. The CFTC has the authority to investigate, but has not announced a formal probe. It has issued guidance reminding participants that insider trading on prediction markets is illegal. That guidance has changed nothing in the pattern of trades. I think this is the part of the story that matters most, because it reveals something about what prediction markets actually are. The original argument for them was that prices would aggregate the collective wisdom of thousands of traders with money on the line, and that the aggregated wisdom would often beat polls, pundits, and expert forecasts. That was the theory. What the Iran war has produced is a live demonstration of the opposite principle. The events being traded are classified military operations. The people closest to the information have an overwhelming advantage. The price is not aggregating public knowledge. It is aggregating whatever private knowledge has leaked through whichever channels. And in a war, the private knowledge is the only knowledge that moves the market. Every dollar of profit made by a wallet funded 12 hours before a strike is a dollar paid by someone who was operating on public information alone. The market is not broken. It is working exactly as designed. The question is who it is working for. The Iran war is the first major armed conflict to be traded in real time on a public prediction market. It will not be the last. Every signal, every rumor, every classified briefing is now a potential financial product. The people who know when the bombs will fall can bet on when the bombs will fall. The people who do not know can bet against them and lose. The platform that hosts this takes a cut. The president's son advises the platform. The administration closed the investigations. The legislation to stop it will probably not pass. And somewhere on a blockchain, a wallet that has never been identified is waiting for the next strike, holding cash that was loaded 12 hours ago, ready to place a bet that will win by morning.